Hi, welcome to another edition of Chatting With. I'm here with a detox expert, Josh. What's your
Mason?
Josh Mason.
Yeah.
You how long? So yeah, you got into detox originally because you were gonna kill yourself. Something like that.
A little casually.
Catching beginning.
Yeah, I had like serious depression and panic attacks for about 3.5 years and wanted to die like pretty much every day. So I wasn't like preparing to kill myself, but I wanted to die every single day. So yeah.
Okay. You were trying different medications,
Yeah.
going to doctors.
Yeah, basically I was living a pretty normal life for most of my life, and then in a span of like 2 weeks I got super sick. I started, like, my digestive system stopped working. I couldn't sleep. I started having heart palpitations, and honestly after like a week or 10 days or so, I started like feeling like I was tripping out on a drug of some sort, like acid.
Yeah. Wow.
Without taking acid, and yeah, that's how it all started.
Okay, how old are you?
I was 23 when it all started.
And where were you?
I was living in the Lower East Side of Manhattan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you still, and you were doing jiu-jitsu fighting?
Yeah. I was training and competing in jiu-jitsu all around the world, and really intensely. I was also working in like corporate America.
Were you like good at it? Were you like winning?
I was winning. Yeah, I was winning.
Well, that's
cool. I won a bunch of big tournaments. I won like the White Belt World Championships, the Blue Belt Pan American Championships, and then I won a bunch of tournaments as a purple belt too, like Abu Dhabi trials and a few other things too.
Do you still do that?
No.
Why not?
I think most of my jiu-jitsu training and fighting came from a place of anger, and after getting sick and then healing from my sickness, I kind of shed that anger and that like grit that was inside.
Wow.
So I realized that was my coping mechanism, really, to all my pain was, jiu-jitsu. So now I don't feel like I have that anymore. I'm way more at peace with myself, so I don't have like a huge burning desire to beat people up now, Now I help heal people.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you first get into detox? You're in your 2-week episode of pain.
Yeah.
What happened?
So the first route was like a psychiatric route, like going to a psychiatrist and asking them, asking for their help. And they put me on like, 6 different medications. And
do you remember which ones?
Yeah.
Like at once, 6 different?
I think the first time I walked in there, I left with like 3 prescriptions.
Wow.
And then the second time, I think I got like two more.
On top of so you were taking...
I think I stopped one and then took 2 more on top. Yeah. It ended up just being this like, you twist one knob and then 3 other knobs go out of whack, and you got to change those 3 knobs.
That's common, yeah. So yeah, like antidepressants.
Yeah, it was like
painkillers, whatever.
Not painkillers. It was like
that's good.
Those
can be deadly, addicting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like Zoloft, Xanax, like Latuda, which is a bipolar medication. There was a few others too.
Okay. So you were on those for a few years?
No, I was on them for 4 months.
Okay.
And wasn't getting any better. It was like just getting worse, gaining weight. I became like a numb zombie, and I was like, fuck this. I need to choose a different path here for whatever it is that I'm dealing with here. So I literally stopped all the medications cold turkey, which I would not recommend to anybody.
I've done that. Yeah, it's bad.
And then I went to the Amazon jungle and I drank ayahuasca.
Okay, right. Yeah.
So people probably don't even know what that is, right? Yeah.
Well, actually, that's like, it's becoming like a trendy thing.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
It's like
it's like a tea that you drink on weekends.
Well, it's like a millennial trendy thing right now.
Yeah.
I don't know. So you did that, and you had a realization?
Well, I had gone to the Amazon on 3 separate occasions. The first time I only had one ceremony, and it was so intense. I flew home, and I spent 6 months kind of doing some work like meditation and yoga and working on myself. And I went to the Amazon again a second time. I spent like 5 months in the jungle, did like 22 more ayahuasca ceremonies. On that second trip is when I really started seeing the world differently. And
Okay.
yeah.
The first time was too intense? What do you mean?
Ayahuasca it's a hallucinogenic medicine that's used in the Amazon, and it can cause intense visuals and auditory hallucinations, and change your paradigm, change the way you view the world, and purging.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that
Which is like blowing shit out your ass. That's what purging is? And
vomiting, vomiting, burping, yawning, sweating.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, it's a blast. Yeah,
it's awesome.
Yeah.
And the guys, they have like guys that are helping you as you're doing this.
Yeah.
Like
there's facilitators,
shamans or whatever.
There's shamans who are running it from like an energetic standpoint, and then there's facilitators who are like helping you. Because a lot of the shamans don't speak English, so
okay.
The facilitators are there to like let you know that you're not dying.
All right, bunch of purging, and then see the world differently.
Yeah, but the reason that it was too intense was because was because I was not taking care of my body. I was eating shitty. I wasn't exercising. I wasn't taking care of myself, and ayahuasca tends to jive better with people when people take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Right. It tends to be more of a clean experience when your body is clean.
So you took it, and it was too intense. Like, you can't go back though, like you can't. So it was just a bad trip. Like, you were bad dreams and everything. Like,
it was like overwhelming for me, and I couldn't face my own shit.
Yeah.
I just wasn't ready to face my own shit, I guess.
So I don't like what happened.
I was panicking.
Okay.
I was just panicking.
Do they give you like a Xanax?
No.
if you're not handling it?
No.
What did you do?
I basically just had to breathe.
Right, and just get through it?
Yeah.
It lasted like how long?
Well.
Because psychedelics scare me.
Yeah, they should scare people.
Yeah,
they're not to be messed around with. They're not. They're not.
It's
for
not
fun.
like, oh, let's try it.
No.
Yeah.
They're to take you into the corners of your psyche. They're not to like
That's
have
scary.
a good Saturday night. And they're being misused. But whatever.
Right.
That's neither here nor there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just got through it, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you came back and you wanted to do it again.
Yeah.
Because you felt like you didn't get what you wanted.
I felt like as I was in my pain again, and my despair and my panic attacks, I was reading these spiritual books, and I just was reading of this reoccurring concept of the only way out of the pain is through it. So like if I kept running away from it, that it would just keep following me wherever I went. So I wanted to like go experience something that would take me deep into my own shit, and I wanted to face it head on. It was like I didn't want to be scared of my own mind anymore. I wanted to like face it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you feel like you achieved that?
Not through ayahuasca.
Okay.
I mean, ayahuasca was one piece of the puzzle, but through my detoxification and meditation and self-love practice, yeah, for sure. I mean, I still have issues that I'm working on for sure, but I feel like a totally different person. I mean, I've cured my depression, I've cured my anxiety, my panic.
Okay.
I'm a completely different human being.
What was the first step of the detoxification process?
Yeah. The first step, well, for me or for like what I would recommend to others?
I guess that you would recommend, but I don't know if it's not too long a story for you too. Like, what did you do? I don't know.
Yeah, well, basically, I went to the Amazon a third time, and when I came home from the Amazon a third time, I was like, just a mess, a total mess, like worse than I'd ever been after 3 years of deep spiritual work, fasting and doing, all kinds of meditation and all kinds of different therapies, and just still not achieving any homeostasis internally. So eventually I got my hair tested for heavy metals. And what I did is I read this woman's story, and this woman's story talked about mercury poisoning, and it was like the only person on the planet that I felt like I could resonate with. The amount of pain she would talk about, the amount of suffering and anxiety and panic that she went through, I really connected with that. And I got my hair tested, and I had super, super high level, off the chart levels of mercury in my hair. Which came from amalgam fillings.
Okay.
Mercury fillings that were in my teeth. And sushi, I ate a lot of sushi, a lot of tuna, and like just mercury comes from a lot of different places. We're all kind of dealing with it right now.
It's mostly from fish.
Fish, yeah, is a huge piece of it, but it's also in like bleach. It's in a lot of different skin products, and it's in, whatever, it's in vaccinations too. We don't have to go down that route.
Yeah. Mercury poisoning.
Yeah.
So what'd you do when you figured that out?
So then I started taking...
you took your filling out?
I took the fillings out by a biological dentist.
Okay.
Because you don't want to just get them taken out by any normal dentist. You want the dentist to know what they're doing.
Yeah.
To use like a dental dam and an ionizer, and there's a protocol. It's like a biological dentist is the name.
Okay.
The first thing that I did was I had to heal my gut, because my gut was such a mess from the mercury, and the heavy metals basically just destroy the gut lining.
Mm-hmm.
And I couldn't digest food. I would bloat with every single thing that I ate.
Mm-hmm.
So the first step was to heal my gut, and that took a few months. And I used a lot of different supplements. Should I go into the supplements?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I used stuff like colostrum and slippery elm bark powder and
charcoal.
Those are binders, which is another piece of the puzzle. Restore for Life, which is another great supplement.
These are all digestive cleaners.
Some of them are cleaners, and some of them are just restorers. So it's a huge process.
Yeah.
The detoxification. It's like.
Okay. Is there? Yeah, some people don't believe in detox.
Yeah.
What's your response to that?
Yeah, well, it's interesting. I've seen a lot of...
Have you gotten hate? Any kind of hate?
I don't get hate. I'll probably get hate on this YouTube video.
Naturally.
I could care less, but on my actual channel and my website, I really don't get that much hate, because
it's niche.
It's niche. Like,
right.
I attract the people who have really gone deep with their health, and they're able to see how much work I've put into my health and how much money I've spent, and they're attracted to that. But to talk to like a normal person living a normal life, detoxification is pretty far out there. What I would have to say, first of all, there's a lot of science that backs up detoxification, and having said that, science is always like a few steps away, in my opinion, when it comes to like healing the body and healing the mind. Our current paradigm of giving pills for mental illness is just such a broken paradigm that we need something deeper in this world. We need a deeper medicine and deeper
It's a spiritual
care.
thing, yeah.
So to people who don't believe it, I would just say to take 7 days or anywhere between 3 and 7 days of not eating, and just juice fasting and taking some binders. And I talk about this stuff on my site. Binders like coconut charcoal and bentonite clay, and just basically not eating for 5 days and seeing how much shit comes out of them in those 5 days, even though they're not eating, right? I mean, that's proof, in my opinion.
Okay.
It has to be, right?
I guess. Well, it's really it's hard. Most people can't do that. It's like going 5 days without eating. How long can someone go without eating?
Oh, you could go
like a month or something.
Longer. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But you have to drink water.
Yeah.
And you need your nutrients.
Yeah. It's
when
not,
you say fasting, you mean also, but like you can juice.
Yeah. So there's like water fasting, dry fasting, juice fasting.
Yeah.
I would say the easiest thing to do without eating is juice fasting, because you're still getting the minerals and the electrolytes.
Yeah.
So people could even do 2 or 3 days and see how much poo comes out of them. I think the average person there was a study done at one point, but the average person has probably 10 to 15 pounds of old, rotting fecal matter in their intestines.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like,
that's crazy.
I mean, people need to see for themselves and know for themselves, you know? There's no...
Well, let's see. The intestines like this.
Yeah.
So there's the stomach and the
Small
colon.
intestine.
Where's all the poo?
It's basically caked. It's basically caked on the inner walls of the colon and the small intestine.
Okay.
Like, imagine you have sink pipes, okay? And you're just shoving food down the sink pipes for fucking years and years on end.
Yeah.
Eventually, there's going to be like a buildup on the pipes. For us as a collective, we are, we're stressed out. We're not chewing our food thoroughly. We're overeating, eating processed foods. So we're overdoing it. We're eating 3 meals a day every single day for our entire life. We're not meant to do that. And basically overdoing it, and thus creating an atmosphere that can't digest the food as quickly as we put it in.
You say it's unnatural. What is natural? 1 meal a day?
Natural would be like feast famine, where you kind of eat, have a nice big meal, and then you kind of go a long period of time without eating.
Feast famine.
Yeah, in tribal or primal cultures, they would kill an animal, they would have a huge feast, and then maybe they wouldn't eat for another day or two. And the not eating part actually gives our digestive organs a rest. They need to like take a nap sometimes, and they don't get a chance to nap because we're fucking eating all the time.
What's your diet look like now?
My diet, I follow mostly a lectin avoidance diet, which is basically I don't eat nuts, seeds, grains, legumes, beans.
You don't eat that?
I don't eat that.
Okay.
I eat fully organic. Everything's organic. For a lot of the...
People are going to make fun of,
Oh, fine. That's cool, yeah.
It's just like the vegan,
See, the thing is, I'm very different than the typical vegan hippie.
Okay.
What I do is very, very different. I was a vegan for a while. There's like a vegan new age juice hippie movement, spiritual movement, and that's cool and all, but what I do is very different. I actually believe in eating meat, like clean, healthy, wild meat. I would have probably died if I was a vegan, because I wasn't able to get enough nutrients from the vegan diet that I needed to heal from mercury poisoning.
So you eat meat.
Yeah.
What else do you eat?
A lot of cooked and raw organic vegetables.
Very nice. Eggs?
Yeah, I like eggs.
Okay.
I usually soft boil them. You want to keep like the egg yolks.
The lecithin.
Lecithin.
There you go. I remember you told me that.
Yeah, and the sulfur. Yeah.
Oh yeah. By the way, I did a podcast with Josh about 2 months ago, but the link's in the description if you want to check that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have a lot of juices. I make my own juices with like celery, cucumber, kale, all kinds of different vegetables.
Do you take any supplements now?
Now I take a few supplements, maybe like 5 to 10 at one point.
Every day?
Yeah.
Like what? Krill oil.
I take krill oil.
I have krill oil.
Good.
Yeah.
We got to film a video. Detoxing with Andrew Hales.
Yeah.
Krill oil. I take charcoal. I like taking charcoal in the mornings and at night, just to bind to all the toxins that we kind of take on during the day.
Okay.
And let me go a little deeper into let's take this to the people who are disbelievers or the people who have no idea about detox.
Okay.
If most people look at their kitchen cabinets or their bathroom or anywhere in their house, their laundry room, what they'll find is that almost every product they own is chemical based. Okay. These products that we're either ingesting or they're going onto our skin or going onto our clothes, these are all chemical based substances that have no place in the human body. We're meant to withstand natural earthly ingredients, not man-made synthesized substances, right? So if you take a look at laundry detergents and soaps, conditioners, makeup, toothpastes, toothpaste, here's another little thing for a non-believer, which is cool. Like I have no like ego against a non-believer, but I genuinely want to bring them into the light.
Yeah, for sure.
So toothpaste has fluoride in it. Okay.
Okay.
Fluoride is a byproduct of aluminum manufacturing. Okay, so when they make aluminum, a side effect of that is that they have fluoride waste product. So back, I think it was like 40 years ago, the toothpaste Alcoa was an aluminum manufacturing company, and they had all of this fluoride left over, but they couldn't dump it because it was a certified neurotoxin. Okay.
Wow.
And they couldn't dump it, so they had to figure out what to do with it. So they hired Edward Bernays to basically, he's a marketing genius. They hired him to prove that fluoride helps with teeth. So they hired dentists, and they said to all these dentists, look, we need to make sure this looks good for teeth. We need to make sure. Eventually, they came out and said, oh yeah, by the way, fluoride is good for the teeth, and they started selling it to municipalities and selling it to put it in our tap water. So it's also in toothpaste.
To like full cities.
To the full city.
Wow.
Yeah. So whatever, I'm not like a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah,
so you don't have to get into that. But fluoride and chlorine are not healthy for the brain. They're not healthy for the pineal gland. Do you think your audience knows what the pineal gland is?
I don't think I do.
Okay.
Let's see. That's like stress.
The pineal gland is, we are spiritual beings, right? We're spiritual beings having a human experience. The pineal gland is a gland that's calcified in most 18-year-old people around the world.
Calcified.
Calcified.
What's
it's just
that
like
mean?
a rock.
Okay.
Because it's not functioning. When it actually functions, it releases DMT. It helps produce melatonin. It's the thing that basically is what spiritual traditions used to call like the window into the soul.
Right.
It's like our connection to something bigger than money and cars and YouTube fame.
Okay.
So
right. Yeah.
So anyway, the pineal fluoride and chlorine both mess up the pineal gland, right?
Okay.
That's like scientifically proven, right?
Okay.
So yeah, detox is real.
Okay. Yeah. Last time I saw you, you showed me some pictures of like worms.
Yeah.
Parasites that came out of your ass.
Yeah.
How do I get the worms to come out of my ass?
Yeah, like
I want worms to come
those
out
were
of my
pictures
ass.
of either me or my clients.
Okay.
Basically,
I'll get those from you and just flash those. Well, maybe I shouldn't.
Maybe
I don't
you
know. It
shouldn't,
might be
yeah.
too gross. Yeah.
Yeah, well, basically, I hate to say it. This may, make people scared, but most people on the planet have intestinal parasites.
Oh yeah. Right.
Worms, roundworms, ropeworms.
Ringworm. Well, no.
that was a wrestling jiu-jitsu thing I used to get to. And these parasites basically, what they are doing is they're actually living in this relationship with us where they actually are helping us survive the current conditions of toxicity. So they eat heavy metals and they eat other chemicals. So they're actually helping us survive the intense levels of toxicity that we're dealing with as a planet. But they're also shitting and peeing in our bodies and eating our nutrients. So they overall have a net negative effect, but they do serve a purpose. So you can't just kill them all right away. You kind of have to go through a process of healing the gut, replenishing the nutrients, getting stronger, and then you kill the parasites.
Okay.
And I can feel that you're skeptical. It's almost like I feel like you're a non-believer.
Well, hold on.
Yeah.
So, it's just, how do you know was it like swimming around when it came out of your ass?
They're dead when they come out. Yeah. Yeah, they're dead when
They're
come
dead,
out.
but you can see that it's not shit.
Yeah.
You can see that it was like a worm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And how long did you were like always checking and always looking for these worms to come out?
Yeah, pretty much when I was recovering, yeah. Yeah, with a stick.
Oh gosh. Oh, but they're really tiny, huh? How tiny?
Sometimes they're huge. Sometimes they're like 12 inches long.
What?
Yeah.
You had a 12-inch worm
Yeah.
come out of you?
Yeah.
And that was just kind of in your intestine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Living in there.
Man. In less than a minute,
Yeah.
the steps to detoxification for beginners.
For beginners, go on a 3-day juice fast, and no food for 3 days. Basically orchestrate your life around those 3 days, because you're going to be experiencing intense emotions, and it could be difficult to not, food is we have an addiction to food, so a lot of our stuff comes to the surface when we fast. So 3 days, this is just what a beginner should do, not the long-term process. That they can go on my website for.
Okay.
But 3 days, just drink juice, clean organic juice from a store, or you can buy your own juicer, and take activated coconut charcoal and bentonite clay, like a teaspoon of each, with a teaspoon of organic psyllium husk powder, with 10 ounces of water. Okay, and you take that every morning and every night for those 3 days.
Wow.
Okay, and then you can also do a saltwater flush at some point in the middle of the 3 days.
Okay.
And after those 3 days, you will hopefully experience a new piece of yourself. You will experience a different paradigm, more energy, more clarity. You'll be able to see that you've been running at maybe 10% of what you're capable of. If you weren't filled with shit, literally. Yeah. So another good thing to do during the 3 days is to take something called triphala at night. Triphala is it's like three different fruits from India that help cleanse and tonify the bowels. So they can take 2 of those at night. I'm actually about to release this this new post about detox for beginners on my website. So
great.
By the time this comes out, it may even be done.
Yeah, it should. Yeah.
But
I'll probably have this for like about a couple weeks.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be done by then, and just see how you feel. Just see if you feel better,
Okay.
And see what comes out of the toilet too, and how much substance can come out after 3 days of not eating,
Well, so yeah, I'll do the saltwater flush I've been doing that every 3 weeks. And I always feel like euphoric after.
Yeah.
What's that about?
Basically, yeah. Well, it's 2 things. One is you're getting a lot of minerals from the salt, much needed minerals. And number 2, most people's intestines are just like cesspools. They're just basically recirculating toxins into the body. When you do a saltwater flush, it just flushes everything out. Now, it doesn't get everything.
Yeah.
It gets all the low-hanging fruit, all the stuff that easily comes out. There's other stuff that's more like tightly impacted, but the low-hanging fruit, the easy stuff comes out, and your body almost gets a chance to rest and replenish and restore once it's not dealing with all of that toxicity.
Yeah.
So, in many different cultures and traditions, bowel cleansing was a normal part of life,
Wow.
In yogic traditions, enemas, saltwater flushes, this is massive piece of the puzzle for them, because they understood that this body, this vessel functions better when it's clean. We brush our teeth, we clean our ears, but we don't clean literally the central channel of our life force.
Yeah.
Like the entire central channel of our whole existence is right here, and we don't clean it.
My last chatting with was NoFap. Did you met Luke?
No, hopefully I'll meet him on this trip, actually.
Oh, great.
If he's around.
Cool. What do you think of NoFap?
Total truth.
I thought you were being like total bullshit, dude.
No, total truth.
Really? Do you
I don't
do NoFap?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't go to the extreme of not doing it for a year and a half, like when
was the last time you jerked?
I'm not saying that on camera.
Sure.
But no. Here's the essence of
okay.
My opinion. This is all my opinion, by the way, and I'm not a fucking doctor, so they should be speaking.
Oh, they should
consult with your physician.
I should put a disclaimer.
Yeah. Consult with your physician with everything I'm saying.
Right.
I have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm just a detox dude.
Do not sue us. All right.
Yeah.
I'll probably put that in the beginning.
So.
Yeah, NoFap.
Yeah, NoFap is really, really important piece of the puzzle. If men could just stop ejaculating, the world would be a completely different place. There's a book. You could put that as like the caption.
Well, not ejaculating. Stop like jerking off to porn. Like, because like ejaculating, I mean, like you can have sex with your partner.
Let me get into it.
Oh, shit. All right. Sorry.
No, it's all good. All right. So I don't even know what nofap is because I don't know the exact terminology that they use. I think fapping is masturbation, right? Okay, so it's no masturbation is nofap, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I don't subscribe to any like groups or anything like that, but what I do and what I believe people who are suffering from depression or anxiety or fatigue, men in particular, is that we have to learn how to hold our chi, our life force in. You know, there was a book called, what was the name of that book? Napoleon Hill with...
Think and Grow Rich.
Think and Grow Rich.
Yeah.
And he had a whole chapter devoted to transmuting sexual energy. That all of these, I think it was chapter 11.
Wow.
That all of these incredibly successful people, what they mastered is the art of sexual transmutation, where they did not ejaculate. And that was a huge piece of his book. And it's a huge piece of, in my opinion, becoming successful, becoming healthy and happy. And now it's not about never having sex, never ejaculating. There's no hard and fast rules here. Mm-hmm. It's about learning to cultivate your seed, cultivate your life force. When men ejaculate, in French, they call an ejaculation petite mort, which means little death, right? So in Chinese medicine, they also were very keen on the fact that when men would ejaculate, they would lose a little piece of themselves, their DNA, their seed, in a way. So cultivating that, basically stopping ejaculation, especially to porn, because porn is hijacking our brains, hijacking us on a very deep level.
Unnatural, right.
It's fake too. They're all actresses and actors, and there's fucking Viagra, and then we want that we have those expectations in our normal life. You know, it's not clean.
Right.
It's not healthy. So basically,
so holding in your chi.
Yeah.
And it's a real thing, and you know, not ejaculating helps you stay motivated.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Imagine all of that sexual energy that you have fucking swirling around, you know, all the teenagers here swirling around. They don't know what to fucking do with it. They have to go to their computer and jerk off to porn. Imagine if you could figure out a way through meditation or through grounding or through intention of actually circulating that energy through the body and creating with it. So you have all this energy coming in. Yeah. Imagine if you diverted it to something else, you know?
Okay.
There'll probably be 1,000 comments. Not having sex is unnatural. I've never said anything about not having sex. You can totally have sex and not ejaculate. And in fact, it invigorates a man when he does that.
That sounds awful.
Maybe.
You do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It also sounds awful for the girl. Doesn't she want to
women
finish?
Ejaculating for women actually invigorates them. Like male fighters are told to hold in their essence before a fight.
Yeah.
Women fighters are encouraged to ejaculate.
That's what I've heard, yeah. Like the more orgasms girls have, the better off they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let us know what you think of Detox. Check out Josh's channels. Everything's in the description.
Yeah.
And thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.